More than 300,000 people were left without power due to a severe winter storm in the eastern United States. An ice and snowstorm that hit areas from Texas to Ohio will shift to the northeast. Due to the growth of ice on trees and power lines, the number of power outages in Texas Sunday night rose to 135,000. The mayor declared a state of emergency. Ice also caused a 16-vehicle crash that injured 6 people, according to the Texas Fire Department. Up to a centimeter of ice accumulated on the branches of trees, which broke under its weight. The local utility said it could take days to restore power. Outages also rose in Ohio, West Virginia and Pennsylvania. Cyclone Batsirai hit the east coast of Madagascar late Saturday evening, and, moving inland, caused power outages and the destruction of houses. The epicenter of the Category 3 tropical cyclone Batsirai reached the province of Fianarantsoa in Madagascar at that moment. The wind speed at the time of landfall reached 51 meters per second, with gusts up to 60 meters per second. The storm system made landfall about 14 kilometers north of the city of Mananzari in the southeast of Madagascar. According to local residents, they have never seen such powerful winds and high waves before. According to meteorologists, the cyclone will cross the country from east to west, remaining generally at a dangerous stage. A massive wildfire that has engulfed the western part of Australia continues to spread at a breakneck pace. The authorities began sounding the alarm. A state of emergency was declared in the country. Because of the fire, the residents of the city of Bridgetown had to be evacuated. Local residents published videos and photos of this monstrous fire. The published footage shows that, along with part of the forest, the nearby field is on fire. A rescue helicopter is circling above the trees on fire. The evacuation of local residents began on the evening of February 5. All people were urged to leave Bridgetown and go to the neighboring city of Manjimup. According to emergency services, about 5,000 hectares of land were affected by the fire. At the same time, firefighters noted that it is too early to assess the extent of damage. A fire in Bridgetown had to turn off the electricity. A floating carpet of dead fish has been discovered off the coast of France. More than 100,000 dead fish were dumped into the Atlantic Ocean by the Dutch trawler FV Margaris, the second largest fishing vessel in the world. French Minister of the Sea Annick Girardin called the images of dead fish shocking, and said she had appealed to the country's National Fishing Authority with asking for an investigation into the incident. In images published by the French arm of the non-profit organization Sea Shepherd, the surface of the ocean is covered in a dense layer of blue whiting, a subspecies of cod used to mass-produce fish sticks, fish oil and meal. The National Weather Service in Puerto Rico has issued an orange-level flash flood warning for several cities due to widespread rain with severe thunderstorms affecting much of the country. The city of Toa Baja is currently experiencing the worst effects from heavy rain. Up to 11 more than 60 millimeters of precipitation fell there in the morning, and about 30 millimeters of precipitation is still expected for the next 2 hours. This amount of rainfall was enough for localized floods to form in the city. This led to damage to houses and displacement of hundreds of people to safe places. At least 4 people received moderate injuries. According to a report from the Department of Meteorology of Paraguay, wind gusts recorded during the storm in the capital Asunción reached 40 meters per second. This brief storm caused significant property damage to the city. The climatic phenomenon, the approximate duration of which was only 5 minutes, left behind numerous damages: fallen trees and poles of power lines, torn roofs from houses and hangars, and even a collapsed radio station antenna. The deputy director for meteorology pointed out that the phenomenon observed today in the capital Paraguay can be compared to the wind force of a tornado. Although it was not there as such, there was no funnel descending from the sky. The North Curl volcano Ibico again showed signs of life. A resident of the Curls was lucky to film the moment of his awakening. The footage shows how a huge column of ash and smoke breaks out from under the snow. Ibico volcano threw it to a height of 3,700 meters. According to volcanologists, the plume of ash stretched for 10 kilometers from the volcano in a southeasterly direction. Aviation has an orange hazard code. According to the Kamchatka Volcanic Eruption Response Group, ash emissions from Ibico may pose a danger to aircraft flying in the area of the Severo-Kurilska airport. Another winter storm struck on the night of February 6 in the Canadian province of New Brunswick. As a result of the blizzard and snowfall, more than 50 centimeters of snow fell in some areas. Despite severe weather conditions, the authorities did not report significant traffic disruptions. As of Sunday morning, the province had 5 unplanned power outages linked to bad weather. Environment Canada's meteorologist says Moncton and southeast New Brunswick were hit the hardest, with about 50 centimeters of snow falling. Sussex and Fredericton received about 30 inches of snowfall. The highest wind gust ever recorded was 20 meters per second in the St. John area, and in Moncton gusts reached 15 meters per second. Schools and most businesses will open as early as Monday. The most powerful explosion of the volcano occurred in the Pacific Ocean. This time we are talking about the eruption of the Ambi volcano in the island nation of Vanuatu. It is reported that everything happened on February 3rd, but only now these terrible shots have been published online. They were taken from the plane by one of the local public figures, who happened to be in the eruption area. While there is no exact data on the strength of the explosion and ash gas emissions, the latest reports from the Vanuatu Department of Meteorology and Geological Hazards indicate that the cone of the volcano on Lake Vui continues to grow, and the mountain itself emits ash and fumes. Small amounts of ash were also noted in nearby villages. Thank you for watching the video. Thanks for supporting the channel. Good wind and weather.